Hi, my name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production, coming to you from Royal Athletic Park in Victoria, BC. Thank you for tuning in. We're at Wilson Group Stadium for the nightcap of the Little League Triple Header Classic, where the Layritz Allstars will take on Beacon Hill. And this should be a good one, folks. Beacon Hill, they've had a fantastic year, and they won the District 7 championship. They were undefeated, and they made it all the way into provincials. And Beacon Hill's opponent is going to be the Layritz Allstars. Now, they've been playing teams in Vancouver and, getting ready for the Canadian Championships. This is hosted by Layritz Little League that runs from July the 29th to August the 7th. And that brings the best teams from across the country to Victoria. This is going to be a great event, and this is what it's all about. And these two teams should match up really good. They haven't seen each other, so this will be interesting to see how this game develops. Now on the bump today for Beacon Hill is going to be Hanson. This young man, he's had a great season, and he'll do a great job on the mound today. And for Layritz, they're going to counter with Ash, hard thrower, cool head, calm, collected. This should be a really good matchup. And what an opportunity for these young Little Leaguers to play at Wilson Group Stadium. It's a fantastic setting for these youngsters, and they're relishing every minute of it. This is made possible by the Victoria Harbourcats, which has done a great job today and make it like a regular game day atmosphere for these young athletes, just showcase for Canadians and to put these Little Leaguers on the map. We've got a good one, folks. Like I said, Layritz against Beacon Hill. Let's play ball. Hanson on the mound with Lambertson. And next up for Layritz, it's Crump, and Hanson with delivery. Crump hits a comebacker right to the mound. Hanson over to first, and going into second is Lambertson. And we got a runner at second with one out. And next up to bat, that's going to be Ash. And Ash is going to take this delivery. Oh, and he's going to just rip it out to field. But look who's there. That would be Paddock, and that holds the runner at second. Now two out. And with the runner at second, that's going to bring up Calibrick. There's two outs. And Hanson out of the stretch. And this one's going to get away from Hanson and hit by a pitch. It's unfortunate, but he's okay. And he's off to first. So we got runners at first and second. And that's going to bring up Kane. It's a dangerous hitter, too. And Kane is going to just hit this ball on a rope. And that's going to make its way right out to Paddock. Paddock gets a hold of it. One runner comes in, and that's Ash. And then going to second, that's a heads-up play, is Kane. And Caliber can move over to third. And next up to bat for Layritz, that's Beach. And he would walk. Ball would get away from catcher. And into third is Kane. Scoring is Caliber, 2-0 Layritz. And Sykes at the plate, runners at the corner. And Hanson with the delivery, and Sykes would get a rip on this ball, but look out, there is Havlin. Havlin picks it up nicely over to first in time, and that will retire his side, but not before. Layritz puts two on the board early on the ballgame. And leading off for Beacon Hill is Meechan, and on the mound is Ash. And Ash, two strikes on Hanson, and he paints the quarter with that, and framed nicely right there by Kane. And that'll bring up Havland. And Ash sizing up Havland. He's got two strikes on him. And Ash with the delivery and throws some high heat, and that's a beauty. Swinging a miss right there. That's for two strikes. Ash off to a good start. And next up is Hanson. Two strikes on Hanson. And he's going to take this pitch, and he's going to end up on first with a walk. And then Berkovitz steps up to the plate. And Ash looking to get out of this inning, and Ash with the delivery. That ball is ripped, and that goes right over to Crump, and Crump picks it up nicely, fires over to first, and what a nice stretch there by Calibrick for the third out of the inning. Still 2-0, go to the top of the second. And leading off for the Layritz Allstars, that's Horseman. And Hanson still on the mound, and Horseman, he's going to rip this ball right up the middle. That's a great hit right there. Big Paddock bringing it in nicely. And then on a pass ball, that's Horseman. He's going to move over to second, and that'll bring up Barnes. And with the runner at second, Hanson would throw a nice fastball right on the outside corner to catch Barnes for the first out. Still runner at second. And then on drops, third strike, his way all the way to first. And that'll put runners at the corners. And then that'll bring up Filipovic. Runners at the quarter, 1-0. Filippoco will drive this ball. That's a beauty. Gets right in the gap. And that is going to score 2 runs. And in with a stand or a double. Well, he's got a slide in there. That is Filippoco. Great hit. And Quest steps up to the plate, 4-0. And Quest, he's got eyes on keeping this rally going. He rips this ball. And that is just going to drop in right there. Going to drop in. That's going to be for a double for Quest. I'll score another run. That's 5-0 for Layritz in the second. And that'll bring up Lamberton, top of the order. Hanson with the delivery. Oh, Lamberton just gets under that. And with a nice catch right there, that is happening. That's 2 outs. And then Crump with a good eye, and he's going to take this pitch, and he'll end up at first and second, 2 outs, 5-0 the Reds. And that's going to bring up Ash. Ash hitting out of the 3-hole. And with the delivery of Hanson. Oh, what a shot by Hell, what a catch! Oh, that is a catch by Havlin. My God, that just retires the side. That would have cashed in a couple of more runs. That thing was ripped. But let's take a look at this one again. Like, nice pitch, and I'll tell you what, Ash gets a good piece of this, but stretch it out all the way. That is a great catch by this young man, and you got to love it when Havlin does this. He's a great ball player. And Stefanock leading things off for Beacon Hill, and he would take a walk. Next up for Beacon Hill is Paddock, and Paddock, he's got 2 strikes on him. And here's the pitch. Oh, that is a nasty curve. Oh, right there by Ash. Or the strikeout. Then Stamp Vincent steps up to the plate for Beacon Hill. Ash got 2 strikes on him. And Ash with the delivery. Oh, what a pitch. Autumn falls out, and that's for the strikeout. That's a great pitch by Ash. Then Loose next up for Beacon Hill. And Ash, he's got 2 strikes on him again. And look out, here comes Ash. What a pitch. And that's a beauty fastball for the strikeout. Strikes out the side. And Ash impressive early on this ball game. Yeah, and then we're off for a little crowd participation. He decided to get in this bubble. Well, this is what happens. Upside down you go. And that is a beauty right there. Oh, young man, he wins. I don't know if he won because I'd rather get rocked. You know, when you step into these things, your head and feet's only count up. The only thing that's going to happen, if you hit a brick wall like that, you just disappear right into the ball. It's stage left, time for an ice path, I think. And Calabrick's going to lead things off, top of the 3rd. And he's just going to get under this and camping under that nicely. That's Havlin. He's having a busy day today. And pitching changed to no Berkowitz in for Hanson. And then Kane would walk, having some patience at the plate. And Kane would take second on a pass ball. And that'll bring up Beach. And Berkowitz looking to get something going here, and Beach decides he's going to step into this, and he launches this, but right underneath. There you go. That's a great ball player as well. That's Loose, doing a good job. Great catch by this young man. And a runner in scoring pitch position for Sykes. And Berkowitz with 2 strikes on him. Oh, a tailing fastball. That's a great pitch by Berkowitz for the strikeout. And that will retire the side. Still 5-0. Bottom of the 3rd we're going to. And pitching change. That is Barnes in for a great job done by Ash. Goff at the plate. Barnes with a delivery. Oh, what a pitch by Barnes for the strikeout. And Bowden next up. And Barnes, he has 2 strikes on him as well. And with a nice pitch, that is nasty. Paints a corner, and that's for the strikeout. Second strikeout in the inning for this young man. And Meechan steps up to the plate. 2 outs. And Barnes with the delivery. Oh, that's a nice grounder right there by Meechan. Picked up nicely by Calabrick. That's for the 3rd out. 3 up, 3 down to the top of the 4th in this entertaining ball game. Yeah, top of the 4th, that's Horseman up to the plate, and Berkowitz 2 strikes on him, and a beauty of a pitch, swing and a miss. Hats off at everything. And then Barnes up next, and there's 1 out, and Berkowitz with a pitch, and what a pitch, gets you outside, and that's just nubbed right up. It goes over to Stefanock. Stefanock the first for the out. Great job by Stefanock on the play. And then Burns up the plate. And Burns, young man, he's got some pop on that bat. And he's going to rip this ball. That's going to go out to left field. And Burns in with a long single. That puts runners at first and second. And then Filipovic. And he's going to get plunked. And he's going to go to first. That's going to load up the bases. And then Quest, he would walk. And that's going to score another run. And that's up for the Allstars of Layritz. That's Lamberton. And Lamberton takes this Berkovitz pitch. And he's going to drive this. That goes, oh, that's picked up. Now he's thrown home. That's a great play right there. Ramp for the out. And then Crump steps up to the plate. 2 outs, bases loaded. And Berkovitz with the pitch. And Crump, he's going to hit a shot to third. Picked up nicely by Stefnog. He's going to take it to the bag for the 4th out. And a run will score. Crump is safe at first. The base is still loaded. And that'll bring up Max Ash. And that's Berkovitz with the pitch. Oh, outside corner. Ash doesn't like it, but that is the 3rd strikeout. 3 left on base. And Berkovitz steps up to the plate, and Burns with the delivery. Berkovitz will take this ball, hit it right over to Ash. Ash picks it up nicely and over to first for the 1st out of the inning. And then Hanson up next. And Barnes looking to keep things going here. And Hanson thinks otherwise, and he just absolutely rips this ball. And that is going to go all the way to the wall, and picking it up nicely right there is Sykes, but in with a double is Hanson. And then Berkovitz. He's got 2 strikes on him. And what a pitch here by Barnes. And that makes it 2 outs, still a runner at second. And that brings up Stefnog. And Stefnog, he's got 2 strikes on him, runner at second, 2 outs. And Barnes with the pitch. Oh, what a beauty pitch. And that is for the strikeout. And Barnes having a great day today. That's some good pitching right there by this Layritz squad. And next up to bat is Calibrick. And Berkovitz looking to do some damage. He's trying to get a pitch in there, and he throws a nice pitch, but Calibrick gets all over it. He drives this all the way to the fence. That is deep. Calibrick in with a stand-up double. What a hit from Calibrick. And next up is Kane. And Kane facing Berkovitz. Berkovitz, a nice pitch. Kane gets down on this one. That goes right to short, over to first for the out. And Calibrick, he will somehow score, sliding into home. And that's going to make it 8-0 for Layritz Allstars. And next up to bat is Beach. And Beach, he's going to drive this ball, but right there is Crump with a great catch. That's for a 2nd out of the inning. And then Sykes at bat. And Sykes will take this ball, and he's going to pop this one up. And guess what? There's Crump again, being a busy man. And that's going to be the end of the inning, 8-0. And the bottom of the 5th, and that's Paddock up to bat. And Beach is into relief right now, and Paddock gets a hold of this one. Oh, what a catch. That's a beautiful catch by Barnes. That's a beauty. That's for the 1st out of the inning. And next up is Stan Vincent. And Beach out of the stretch. And Beach with the delivery. Stan Vincent's comebacker, 1 hopper right to Beach. Oh, and he just loses a handle on a safe at first. And then with 2 outs, Beach out of the stretch. And Beach with a delivery, a nice pitch. And that's picked up nicely by Crump. And that's over to first for the 2nd out of the inning. And then Beach with 2 strikes on the batter, and he would just freeze him right there. And that will retire this side. And we're going to go to the top of the 6th inning. And Havlin on the mound, top of the 6th inning. And that is Horseman. And he's going to take a swing, and that is a 3rd strike. And that's a beauty pitch right there by this young man, Havlin. And then Barnes next up for Layritz. 2 strikes on him, Havlin. And Havlin with a beauty of a curveball. And Barnes sees that all the way into the glove. Strikes free. And next up for the Layritz All-Star is Burns. And Havlin's got 2 strikes on Havlin. He rears back, and he throws some high heat. And that will retire the side, head to the bottom of the 6th. And leading things off in the bottom of the 6th. That is Kai. A nice pitch by Beach, but capping under that nicely. That's Lamberton for the 1st out of the inning. And then the top of the order comes up, and that is Meechan. And Beach with delivery. Oh, Meechan would just take this and drive it the opposite way. And that's picked up by Burns. But Meechan would be in safe at first. And next up to bat is Havlin. And Beach with the delivery. Havlin takes a rip at this one. Oh, that's picked up by Barnes. Over to second, over to first. Just about in time. They do get a runner at second. And then next up is Jace Hansen. And runners at first and second. And that is a nice shot. Ash picks it up nicely and touches second. And that is the ball game, folks. Layritz taking this one away 8-0. And a strong performance by both these teams. That'll end it this year for Beacon Hill. They had a good run into provincials, and now Layritz is just starting. They got the Canadians next week. That's July 29th to August the 7th, and that's going to be fantastic. Playing a Canadian championship for these young fellas. And you got a lot of excitement is building around Victoria, so let's get out in the community. Let's support events like this. My name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the field.